Surprise, motherfucker.
Yes, guys, welcome to the most must-see show. Well, fucking hell, I'll spam me out then. On CardiffCityWorld, nay, East Podcast Nation. This is your Fleur Hour. I am Mr. Rob Ball. I am joined with the man who does a couple of other shows as well. Some we don't really talk about. Mr. Matthew Angel, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good, buddy. All good. It's a weird one now, international break. I know we're not going to talk too much about Wales because we're leaving that aside for tomorrow night. But, I don't really... Say that again, sorry?
I said, tired Josh, you bad.
Yeah, well, but I left the member show just now because his nose was streaming with blood. So it's something he struggles with quite a bit, to be fair. But I'm not talking about him now. It's the Fleur Hour. So he's smiling anyway. So he must be all right. But going back, I think I've probably watched more Welsh football since Bellamy's taken over than I did for the entire duration Rob Page was there. And I just think it was down to numerous things, really, just other commitments and things. But I think ever since we went to that live event with Bellamy, we was lucky enough to meet Bellamy about a fortnight after he'd been appointed. It just brought that excitement back, I think, a little bit. And, I have watched a bit more, perhaps not as much as I should. But, fingers crossed, he can continue doing what he has done, and Wales can get a couple of good results in the window. From a Cardiff point of view, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing now after that good result on the weekend. But if anything, for me, putting my Cardiff hat on, at least it gives us a couple of weeks for people to have a bit of a break, have a bit of a rest, try and recuperate and recover from injuries and things, because we've been battered this year with 8 cup finals left to go. So there's mine.
Yeah, and speaking about the international window, and correct me if I'm wrong, I see that our resident Irish man has mentioned that Callum O'Dowd pulled out of the Ireland squad as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure exactly the reasons why. But Jeff, if he's tuned in, if he's got his potatoes rubbed up to get a connection, so you can enlighten us on it. I'm not too sure why O'Dowd has pulled out. Have you heard anything yourself, mate?
No, other than what Jeff mentioned in the group, he's returned to Cardiff for a slight knock. Not sure what that is. But, at least that call's been made early doors. He haven't been made to train or do anything extra and risk, further injury, because he's been a key player for us this season. And, I'd rather have him in the side for the last 8 games than not have him in the side, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I'm not too sure why I'm playing, I'll be honest. So they obviously didn't want to take a risk, and there was probably a good communication between club and country to know that not to risk him, given where Cardiff obviously are. And it's good, and it's good for the relationship between the two propositions, if you like, between the club and the country, because you get that, and you're on to win it. For me personally, we being a Welsh fan, you've seen it fall down so many years. Feel it fall down so many times over the years. So communication is key between club and country, I think, personally. What we got? Oh, yeah, Martin.
Yeah, you dip into the comments. I'm just having a little look on some info from the last Cardiff game, and just wanted to talk a little bit about it. I know obviously you jumped on with me and Reese, so we won't delve into it much. But yeah, a couple of things to talk about this evening. Nothing in great detail, because obviously there's no Cardiff City fixtures now until Sheffield Wednesday home on something like the 20. Memory shot. But, yeah, a couple of things that have obviously come out today. I don't know if many people are aware of it, but Dick has been linked to some kind of job with it at Cardiff City. Be interesting to see what people's thoughts are in the chat. My personal view is that I think any conversations with anybody now at this stage of the season is crazy, given the situation within. Any unrest or rumours or things like that now it's just not needed for me. We should all be focused on getting out of the shit that we're in, climbing back up that table and getting out of the relegation dogfight. Yeah, it's just back to me, mate.
Yeah, I just don't understand where, you could never be surprised anymore being a Cardiff fan. We all know that anything is possible as a fan, and we'll talk about it in a second. Some of the names that are thrown about for those of you who I know a lot of the comments already from those who tuned in the Patreon show just now, and it's wild. How is this a thing that's coming out now? It's just nuts. What good is that doing for Omar Reza? What good is that doing for him? That the fact that, all right, he's still in the job, don't get me wrong, but they were talking to and trying to get several gaffers in over the last couple of weeks, couple of months. It's nuts, mate.
Jonathan Davis, Dick Advocat, mate, has been linked with the job today. Has been communicated to us, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. But yeah, we've had given the heads up that he's been linked with the Cardiff job. So yeah, bit bonkers. Right, let's go back briefly then and talk a little bit about the Blackburn game, guys. You'll have to apologise. I'm not sure if it's my internet, Rob's internet. I'm using a laptop's probably just as old as Rob. So it's probably about 38, give or take.
What stoner age.
But yeah, just bear with us. We're doing the best we can with what we have available this evening.
Until
going back to the Blackburn game. Going back to the Blackburn game, then squeaky bum time. Great to get 3 points. Mad to think that's only our second victory on the road this year, but it was a massive 3 points. Done, dusted. Move on to the next game. I said on the member show, I'm not sure if it's a good thing now we've got a 2-week break or a bad thing, like momentum wise. I don't think we tend to normally do quite well after international breaks, but who knows? What's your thoughts? Would you kind of, as with your Cardiff hat on, I know obviously you love the Welsh games and that as well, but What's your thoughts? Would you have liked the momentum to carry on, or are you quite happy to have the break to allow players to kind of have a bit of a rest and recharge and hit the last 8 games running type of thing?
Yeah, that's a very good question, mate. It's a very difficult question as well because, as given the results and things like that on the back of a win, you just want that momentum to carry on. Now it's a bit of a stop-start. We paused for 10 days now for the international break, which, as you mentioned, I'm a big fan of. I love the international football. But from my Cardiff hat on, I don't think it's come at a good time. But having said that, how many times over the season have Cardiff done back-to-back victories? This is a good opportunity now. This break, people, the wonderful people in the comments will share with us, I expect, the amount of players we may have back fit after the international break. I'm not sure Darland, I know he's hit and miss, don't get me wrong. Do think he's doing better than Goudas at this time, but that's a different story altogether. Turnbull's close. Ollie Tanner's not far away, I don't think, either. So, it's horses for courses, mate, because, you're on the back of a victory away, a very hard-fought victory away at Blackburn, which is great, and you want that momentum to kick on. However, that victory, in this international break has allowed then for, like I said, for Turnbull, Tanner potentially to come back into the mix, and it's to add firepower to what is going to be a disgusting, gross, horrible, fucking filthy end of the season. Pardon my language, I forgot we're not on Patreon anymore, but a horrible end of the season, It's hard, mate. It's hard to think about it, and not to waffle on, sorry, but to touch upon what you said, going back to your Cardiff hat on, there's minimal amount of players who's going to be on international duty. We had a couple of conversations on our Patreon show about Ruben, but there's next to nobody who's going to be on international duty. I don't think America is playing. I don't think Hovarth goes away travelling, which could be big because he can't get any worse. So you don't want him to have jet lag as well. I'm not sure about Greece. If Dimmy's called with score, I doubt he is. But yeah, it feels right there. It's a battle now. We get this international break out of the way, and it is literally a fight. It's a fight to the end now. And I gotta be honest, mate. Sorry, I know I'm taking over a little bit, so I do apologise, but I'm grateful for this break, international football-wise, from a fan perspective, because it relaxes me a little bit. I ain't gonna concentrate on Cardiff and the fight for relegation and whatnot. I can almost enjoy, as stupid as it sounds, I can enjoy football again for a little bit with watching Wales play for the next 10 days.
It's a different kind of pressure watching Wales now, isn't it? Compared to
it is, mate. It is, and that's a massive crowd to Bellas. I can't wait for the game on Saturday. I'm not going, unfortunately, because Mrs. working, but I can't wait for the game on Saturday to watch it. I'm sure the boys will do class against Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, by the way, you think of them, you think Borat, but they're ever growing team. They are getting better. It's not a formality, but Wales should win comfortably, I think. But again, sorry, I don't want to take up the CardiffCityWorld show with Welsh football talk, but it's a nice distraction, mate. It is a nice distraction as a football fan, I think, for me personally. But yeah.
Couple of comments I just wanted to jump in on then. Martin says there, our squad is too big selection smacks of indecision, no continuity. So I think, we haven't been the only squad in the Championship this year that have struggled with injuries. And I think if we didn't have had a squad as big as we've had, we'd be buggered because, you look at the injuries we've had, Anik, Jamilu Collins haven't really featured. O'Dowda's missed a little bit. Gudas has missed a little bit with injury as well. Darland has. NG dip in form and things. He's been out. Ramsey, Turnbull. So, the injuries we've had, if we hadn't have had a big squad, I think we'd have been buggered. But I can completely agree with Martin's comment as well, in the sense that, we've struggled to name the same team on a consistent basis, which is probably hasn't done us any favours whatsoever.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted with some of the comments, and they're great comments. Like, it's great. First of all, we can use the break to get players ready. My name is Rob, not Phil. I'm joking.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it is.
I don't know. Is he? Probably is, though, isn't he? You keep talking while I find that out a minute.
That I shall. Evening, Bradley. How's tricks, buddy?
Yes, Brad. You're right.
That's a great question from John. Big question to me is, why can we show fight at Blackburn but not against Luton? This is the big issue for Reza to address over the break. And that's happened quite a lot through the season, where we've picked up points perhaps against the teams that we perhaps wouldn't expect to necessarily get points against. Teams further up the division, and we've struggled against the teams down and around us.
I don't think that's new, though, mate. I don't think that's a new thing. I don't know why, but this seems to be a common trend for me personally. I think it's been a continuous thing for a long time, where we get so up for these big games. You look at the Swansea game, for example. I know, okay, Swansea, the shit as a team, but the caliber of that game, they get up for it, and then they can't get for a Luton game. But then because of the multitude of the Blackburn game, they're up for it again and they want to play again. I just don't get it, mate. I don't get it.
Like I said, I think we said last week, every game we've got to play now, we've got to treat that as a cup final. And if you can't get up for the cup final, then you don't deserve to put that Cardiff City shirt on.
Yeah, you should be there. Shouldn't be there.
No, they're all fighting for contracts for next season. They're fighting for if we were to get relegated, they're all going to take, if they was going to stay with the club, I'd imagine 75% of them would end up moving on. But most players now will have in their contract that if the team gets relegated, their wages get halved, for example. So it just baffles me how people it's just bonkers. But let's not take away and focus too much on negatives, because at the end of the day, they went to Blackburn, they showed a bit of spunk, and they came away with the 3 points. Don't get me wrong, it was squeaky bum time at the end, especially when the referee pointed to the penalty spot. But fair play to the linesman, showed some balls overriding his decision and obviously going against the referee's call. But it was the right call, don't get me wrong. But, if that had been on the other hand and it was us, we'd be fuming, I suppose. But, it was the right call, in fairness. This is a great comment from Graham. Has Bells done us a favour not picking players from Cardiff City because of our position and injuries? After all games, he has players to win these games. My question back to that then is, what Cardiff City
Very good
players
point,
you
Greg.
potentially think could have been picked. And I don't think there's anybody there really who's putting their hands up enough for me, to be fair.
No, I agree, mate. And there was, like I said, there was somewhat of a debate on the Patreon show just a little while ago about the fact that Cullen and I forgot his name.
Oli Cooper
was in the squad. All right, Cooper, I could understand a little bit, but he's not done no wrong when he's played for Wales. But Liam Cullen, mate, I think he's been class when he's put a Welsh shirt on. Tore my dragon hat on. He's not done anything wrong since he's put that Welsh shirt on. For me, he deserves to be in that squad. Speaking as a Welsh international fan, I would, and this could be because obviously the chances, etc. But he scored a couple of goals in a couple of key games, and I don't just begrudge him being in that squad, mate. Camilo Reese there as well.
It'd be interesting for anybody. Question for the people in the chat then: what Cardiff City players would you have liked to have been included in the squad? I think obviously Rhodri's probably the most people are going to probably mention. But is there anybody else you think that perhaps deserved a call-up? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean,
let's have a little look
for
at the
me,
comments.
Keane Ashford would be the only other option if that's the case. But I back Bellas. I believe in what he's done. You say that. Someone else, Robbie. Scotland.
Do you think there's more to this Ashford situation than that's leading on? Do you think
I think John O'Leary's got his blinkers on, mate. Tom Lawrence has been very good for what he's played for Rangers this season. Round that on, though, is he better in the squad than Keane Ashford? Probably not. And
has he gone with experience rather than trying?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, actually. I don't know the 21 squad. Is Davis and Ashford amongst the under-21s? I haven't checked. I'm guessing they got fixtures as well, because I know that one of the reasons he got in, did he get injured or something? He couldn't play, or something happened, wasn't it? When Wales, the 21s, had a qualifier.
Yeah, they couldn't play out today because they hadn't registered them in time or something.
Yeah, they warmed it up. Is Matondo better than Colwell? That's not a bit to say, because
I'm not going to lie to you, right? And this shows my ignorance towards other clubs and players. I don't even know who Matondo plays for. Is he plays up in Scotland as well? Does he?
No, yes. So he was a bit. I think he's at Rangers at the moment. So he was in Germany for a while, and he was. Correct me if I'm wrong, you beautiful people, but Cardiff are interested in back in January or summer. But I say interested, it could just be hearsay. But he ended up at Rangers. But he's done well. He's done well at Rangers.
They had a good win on the weekend as well.
Point. Yeah, it is a good point. And I must come across that I don't give a shit about the card players and stuff. And that's not the case. Like, it ain't the case. I don't know whether I'm just so in belief of what Bells is doing that I back him to the world and back. I don't know, but I trust what he's selected. He's not done anything wrong so far. His squads have been spot on, and I don't think you can argue with that. Like, you know, if the results were shit, we were doing really poorly, then I think we would have an argument to complain about the selection. But I don't think we're in a position to. That's right as well, Evan, mate. Yeah. I don't think we're in a position to comment on what Bellamy's selection is, because he's got it right every single time for me so far. I think he's nailed it on spot on. Rabbi and the young 16-year-old boy, they won't probably get minutes over this international break, but they'll be around the squad. Okay, Rabbi might get minutes against Kazakhstan potentially, but he's trusting his process and he believes in it. And mate, you were there that night. How much do you buy into what he says? There's a few of you in the comments who was there that night. You'd run through a brick wall for him. You believe everything he says, and maybe that's a bad thing to say.
But what got me, and the way he said it on the night was, I'll get judged. You know, I can say what I'm saying tonight, but I'll get judged on, you know, whether the things I say tonight come true. And everything you've said, you wanted to instill discipline and raise the bar. And, you know, everything you've said is spot on. Right, let's park the bus there for Wales and Cardiff City players at the moment. Let's get back to talking a little bit about our beloved Cardiff City. Tech just put a comment in there. Risa got what he got player-wise and board-wise. Can't fault what he's signed and his heart. He's made a few mad decisions, but he only learns from what he does. At times he hasn't, but give him time, for fuck's sake. 100% agree with that. There's been some horrific stuff written on social media. Uncalled for, in my opinion. I'll still back him 100% until, you know, we're told otherwise and he's no longer there. But, you know, when he's there, 100% behind him, and, you know, that goes for all the players as well. Right, I did want to just touch upon, obviously, we're in the relegation dogfight, but I didn't realise how close it is at the bottom of the league. So from Plymouth, who were a 24th bottom of the table on 33 points. You go up to, you know, even QPR are in 15th on 45 points. It's a 12-point difference for like 9 teams, which is bonkers, isn't it?
It's the most horrific league in the world.
9 points difference in 10 teams or less. What did I say then? My maths is not the best tonight. QPR, 12 points difference from 15th down to 24th. Bonkers crazy. So moving on from that, then, there's a little bit of for everybody in the chat now, right? So going to put you to the test now, Rob, right? You didn't know this was coming, so I'm chucking this on you, right? Let's get rid of text thing there. Comment. We will come back to. So obviously we've got 8 cup finals left, then, right? So what I want you to do now is I'll call the fixtures out. I want you to predict where we're getting points from. Right?
Oh, Christ! Right.
So our next. Let's get the fixtures up. Well, that would help first, wouldn't it? So our next game is on Saturday, March the 29th. Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday at home. Are we getting points there?
3 points.
3 points? Yeah. I'm writing this down, don't mind, right? I'll talk them up then. After that, then we travel to QPR, Saturday the 5th. Get anything there?
No points.
Preston away on a scruffy Tuesday night. Guys, you can get involved in the chat as well, and you
Oh, yeah, please do. No points, mate.
No points at Preston.
No.
Home against Stoke.
One point.
Sheffield United away.
No points.
No points. Cardiff, Oxford.
3 points.
Cardiff, West Brom.
3 points.
Norwich against Cardiff, last game of the season.
1 point.
So your predictions then, we'll have an extra 11 points come the end of the season. That'll take us up to 50. So I would imagine if those predictions come right, we should be pretty safe, I reckon.
It's
a big...
yeah.
You would think so. would think so.
I don't think I have my blinkers on too much of that. There's a couple I thought could go either way, but I think that's quite a fair assessment, and I think that's doable. Like, looking at those fixtures, I don't think that's out the ordinary. All right, you could say West Brom, maybe. I said 3 points, West Brom. Was West Brom home, Ange?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think so.
I only know that because when I went... Sorry, I only know that because I went to West Brom away and some guy behind me in the stands spilled on the guy next to me.
So, laugh. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll be after. What's the wonderful people saying in comments?
Jack's got Leeds away. If we win on Saturday, we are 2 points behind them.
Jesus.
Here's a nice question from Ethan. Would you rather sign Mansverk or Alves?
That's a good question.
I think, personally, in my opinion, then, I think we'd have more chance of having Alves maybe back on loan again next year. I don't think we'd buy him. The only thing with Alves, and I don't know if anybody else have picked this up, he likes to kind of, when he's going forward, he likes to kind of stop and do the turning round thing. I don't know if anybody else have picked that. Don't get me wrong, I think he's brilliant.
He does the Josh Bowler.
He likes to turn, doesn't he?
Yeah, I agree, mate. Not a big fan of that. Just give me flashbacks to Bowler when he does that, but he's class. And I agree, Ange. I think if we're going to do anyone, Alves be the one. And then I like Mansverk. He's got a personality. He's quite hot-headed, which gets better of him sometimes, I think. Gives away needed 3 kicks. But yeah, I think that's the most likely of the two to bring in. But I've said that Leicester are going to be going down the season, next season. So the chances are he'll probably be a starter for Leicester.
Yeah, and obviously when he came to us in January, I think there was a lot of Leicester fans unhappy that he was coming to us because they felt that he could feature for them. So I think we'd struggle to keep. If we're lucky enough to stay in the division, I think we'd be lucky to keep any of them, to be honest. But there we go.
What's the point saying, boy?
What's that?
Oh, you got some questions.
He's opened up a can of worms now. Bob Hope and no hope.
What was okay? So I'll put this a question to mine and those in the comments as well. Then, what's the difference? No, what more has Mansverk done than Chambers done? Realistically, what's he done better than Chambers?
I like Mansverk, but I like Chambers as well. I think you've looked a different player stepping up from centre back to the centre midfield role. I think Mansverk probably edges it in the sense that he looks a little bit more comfortable on the ball.
Oh yeah, it's his natural position. It's his natural position, isn't it? But like, so okay, so if I could offer you, you could buy Mansverk for $5 million and replace Chambers, and Chambers is gone. Or you could use that $5 million, keep Chambers, and then buy, I don't know, a very good keeper. What would you do?
Well, this is a difficult one, isn't it? But that's another area we need to strengthen in the summer, 100%.
You pick the keeper. You would pick the keeper. Let's be honest. We all would pick the keeper because I'm not trying to force your hand, but like Cam Chambers is better as a midfielder than a Ethan Horvath. You would rather spend that $5 million on a better quality keeper than maybe not slightly, but upgrading to some respect your centre midfield. I think personally, that's what I would do. Like I said, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that for me,
no,
I think is,
and I look at it as well. Yeah, do you spend $5 million playing on Mansverk then when we got the likes of Chambers in midfield, Alex 100%. Robertson, David Turnbull? I would rather spend that $5 million elsewhere, strengthening areas that it's a difficult thing, isn't it? Because obviously we're in the position we're in because players haven't performed this season for whatever reasons, injuries. We haven't been able to pick consistent squads. We can go on and we'd be out all night. But the fact of the matter is, we've got a player on loan. If he's going to cost $5-6 million or whatever, there's no way Cardiff would pay it. No way. And, if we were going to, we got to be looking at areas to strengthen. Callum O'Dowd has been awesome for us. But let's be honest, he's fitted in at left back and he's done a really good job for us. But, you've seen the goal. He attacked down that left, didn't he? And he played the ball, I think it was to Alves. I can't remember. Who whipped it in for Matty to score. But Callum O'Dowd going down our left-hand side, he's so strong with the ball and he's got so much, he's a strong runner. He doesn't get brushed off the ball easily. And he looks dangerous every time he goes down our left-hand side. And I think, unfortunately, to a certain extent, he's been wasted playing left-back. But needs must kind of thing. And, he's done a job there for us. Joel Bagan again, have they put enough belief in him? Maybe not. But then on the other hand, they put him in at centre-back in games. And he's another player who I think has done a really good job for us, considering that's not his normal position as well. I think the frustrating thing for me, and I think it came in the comments right at the beginning, was the fact that we've got so many players playing out of position and we haven't been, like I said, been able to pick a consistent team. It's bonkers. And I put a lot of it down to injuries and things, but at the end of the day, the manager's there to pick the side. He sees them training week, day out. I looked at it last week. Joe Rolls come back, Reno come back. Was it too soon? From the outside in, looking in, it probably was. And, Rolls only lasted 30 minutes, was it? And Reno 60 minutes. But who's to say they weren't in training on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday last week, saying to Reza, winning a dogfight duel, I want to be out on that pitch fighting for Cardiff City. We don't get to see that. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of attitude I'm hoping players are going to this and saying, I'm 70% fit, but I'm busting a gut. I want to be out there fighting for that, the points to help Cardiff City get back to safety type of thing. The fight was there on Saturday, I think, against Blackburn. Like I said, it's frustrating. We're not having that, especially at home as well against Luton. Luton must have come here the other night and thought he was back playing in COVID times because it was shocking. But yes, it is what it is. But like I said, I think let's just take 2 weeks. Let's let him recharge. Like I said, hopefully we'll have Tanner back for the last, maybe 5-6 games. Great to see David Turnbull back on the pitch on Saturday. I think just before he got injured, he was having a really good partnership with Robertson when he. So yeah, it'll be great to get him back. How much of him we will see now between now and the end of the season. If we see him as a bit part player, it'll be hard for him now to probably put a consistent run of games together. But given the injuries we have had, who's to say that he might have to be thrown in the deep end? And yes, let's see what happens. Jonathan, I'm going to come to that comment in a second, my friend. Who, in your opinion, who is the best in every position? So, like goalkeeper, fullback, defender, midfielder, and attacker. Ooh, that's a good question, isn't it?
Very good question. Do you want to go first?
Jack Annick starts for me.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing 1 to 11
now, right?
We're doing 1 to 11. We're doing 1 to 11.
Yeah. 1 to 11. We'll Jack Annick, goalkeeper.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Right back.
I know Reno's done a job for us this year at right back. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't think he's looked the same just before he got injured, perhaps, and obviously when he came back Saturday. So I'd have to go for Perry NG right back. You probably go Reno. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was toying with Reno and then go by put NG as centre half with would you put him centre half with? Or do you just leave them out altogether and go Fish and Darland? Yeah, I think I'll go with you. I'll go NG. Centre half.
I'd go NG. Fish, and I'm going to go Gutas. I'm hoping now, obviously, he got dropped for Blackburn. I'm hoping that's going to give him the. We all know what he's capable of and how good he has been for us previously, right?
You all know what
we've talked about. What's that?
I said, you all know how much I love him.
Yeah, and let's be honest, right? Everybody will have dips and they'll all go through stages in their career where they perhaps had a bit of a dip in form, right? Do you put a lot of that down to maybe a lack of confidence in the person behind him? Potentially. I'm not saying that's 100% accurate. It's just my opinion. But we all know what he's capable of. So, Gutas and Fish. I think we probably do need to bring a left back in the summer if we can. But if Joel Bagan had to play there, I wouldn't have no qualms about it. So, just because I want O'Dowda playing further up the pitch, I put Bagan left back.
I'd go. Okay, so where are we at? So NG, we've both said. I would go Darlin Fish, and I'm going to go Joe Bagan left back.
Nice. Midfield then. I think we just talked about Alex Robertson and David Turnbull, so I'd have both of them in my midfield in some shape or form. I'd have O'Dowda on the left, Ashford on the right. What's that? Four.
Hang on, you go O'Dowda left back.
No, I put Bagan left back, so I could allow Dowda to play further up.
Okay. Oh, you were the same as BM, was it?
No, I said it first. You were the same as me. So Robertson and Turnbull in the middle. Yeah. Ashford on the right. Who did I say on the left? O'Dowda on the left.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Salek and perhaps Davis up together. I don't know if I'm not convinced at the moment. Salek and Robertson are working together. I know it's early doors, and let's be honest, Callum Robinson, I love him, right? If it weren't for him this season, we'd be already relegated, I think. Again, he was a player at the end of last season who was gone, but I think this season he's showed how hard he's worked. After games, he's the first one running towards the crowd, pumping his chest, tapping the badge and things. So I really think we've got starting to get the best back out of him. There was a comment in there saying earlier about someone thinks he's a bit greedy. I don't think that's the case. I think sometimes as a striker you've got to be, especially someone who scores. He's not a prolific goal scorer, but obviously he's our top goal scorer. You can't win sometimes because some people will say, we're not scoring goals, and then if he's shooting, he's too greedy. And how many times have we said for players, just have a go? We're reluctant to shoot, and then when we do shoot, it goes in rows there. People are whinging like fuck, like. So we'll see, but yeah, that's my starting 11. Jonathan Davis. Let me pull a couple of these up then. So Jonathan Davis, Una, NG, Fish, Darlin, Bagan, Mansverk, Robertson, Colwell, Alves, Saleh, O'Dowda.
She's gone a 3 to a 5 then.
Evan James, just saw this news. Former Netherlands and Feyenoord manager Dick Advocaat has turned down a move. You heard it here first, buddy. Don't know if you was late to the party, Ev, but you heard it first. Or if you was a Patreon member.
It was Patreon now, my friend.
If you was a Patreon member, you would have heard it over an hour ago.
Oh, right.
Which I think Evan's a member anyway, so I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just I'm not directing that at you, Ev. I'm directing that out to the masses. Phil Jones says pretty much what we were saying. O'Dowda's wasted at left back. He is wasted at left back, but let's be honest, he's done a great job for us, hasn't he?
Do you know what though, right? It gives my OCD mad when I see a left back with number 11 shirt though. Sends me through the roof.
Yeah, just bring numbers 1 to 11 back, innit?
Oh no, you don't need kit numbers like. Give O'Dowda number 3 and here we go.
Reset Jack, NG right back, Gutas and Fish, Bagan left back, Turnbull, Robertson, Ruben 10, Ashford, Saleh and Davis. I tried to avoid low players.
I like that. Like that a lot, Reese, mate. You're my new favorite Reese, you are. Screw Reese David Evans and his Mexican lovers.
Are we going to see some youth let go?
Yeah.
Probably.
So.
I've got to ring Cardiff City actually because I ordered a Dylan Lawler shirt for Josh on the 6th of March and it still haven't arrived yet.
That's shit.
What else we got? Martin Ryan says new goalkeeper, new right back, Began, fish in a dish, Darland, Mansverk, Robertson, Colwell, Ashford, Salah, Davis.
I don't know much about that Turner. Do you see much about him?
No, I only love him because he was waving the corner flag at Swansea fans after we just smashed him.
He's just living with the shithouse, really.
Text says, being a City fan, you can't predict anything. We are the most bonkers club on the planet. That's why we love them. Fact.
And that's why you got people like me. Right. We start to wrap up and soon, my boy.
Yeah, you wrap it up, buddy. You wrap it up, guys. Much appreciated for everybody. Much appreciated for everybody tuning in. The banner is going across the bottom. You had to pull that up, didn't you? Bottom, going across the bottom. The Glen Loovens evening on 25th of April at Splott Cons in Cardiff. Wonderful hosting Mr. Jordan Barrett. Putting, obviously, him and Saya putting on another evening with former Cardiff City legend, Mr. Glen Loovens. There are a few £10 tickets left, and I do believe there are a couple of £20 VIP tickets left. So if you are interested, you can either hit me or Rob up, or there's information on the screen at the bottom. But yeah, this will be another great night come April the 25th, was it? I think it was. Last thing from me, if you can, subscribe to the YouTube Cardiff City World. Awesome. If you can, support the channel by becoming a member on Cardiff City World via the YouTube or the Ace Podcast Nation Patreon, then happy days.
Absolutely. And Jonathan, shut your face. It's not that water you speak of, you naughty boy. We don't swear on this.
I'd rather drink council pot. No star power.